Solo mio, oh sada mia, leja. I remember the pavilion. We had big fun there.
Kamala, 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 Kamala.
The anyone? The anyone? Does anyone know what this is, class? Anyone? Anyone seen this before? Anyone?
What if this is as good as it gets?
Oh.
Well, isn't that special?
I see.
Greetings, my fellow kafir and goy. So yeah, this is a stream. Well, I'm not doing any watch parties. I know I've been doing a lot of those lately. And well, I don't want to say no politics, but minimal politics. With regards to how it relates to Islam and how that's been promoted and protected, empowered and encouraged. We're not going to get too much at that. We're not doing a deep dive, as I say, into that. But yeah, we'll mention that, including something that's extremely relevant and needs to be addressed. And that's the censorship, the socialist media, illegal misbehaviors. So, but yeah, something that's come to my attention, a recent story, the recent Olympics, and the It boxer, not be confused with the It girls or the movie It or the It movement or the flapper movement of the early 20th century, or maybe it's related. But at any rate, we're going to start with that and take a look at some other things. I do have some shorts in the works, focusing on Mahomo and his sexual deviancy. Really encouraged by Mahmoud. Thank you for that encouragement. I'm just overwhelmed. I've got so many projects, so much to do, so little time. So I'll get to that. And, really, I'd rather be doing shorts on other things that I've also got on the shelf. We've got over, 3 to 4 dozen shorts that are either half done or just conceptual at this point. But a lot of shorts that I want to get to. So, but that's fine. Keep on provoking me, terrorizing me, harassing me, empowered by YouBoob no less. Yeah, I'll continue to focus on my home instead. I mean, all I have to do is look at the Quran or Hadith or the Life of Muhammad or the Sharia law, the Rise of the Traveler, or Tafsir. Or, I mean, it's a plethora. All you got to do is cite the Islamic material and it defeats itself. So keep on provoking me, buddy. Thank you for the encouragement. So yeah, that's coming up. I'm going to show, actually, Rob Christian did a really good one recently. It's there's so many polemicists out there that I'm going to stop using Christian apologist. I'm starting to wonder. So the polemicists out there that have a lot of good content. And again, all they pretty much do is cite the Islamic material itself. And it's funny or tragic how deceitful these Muslims are online by doing things like Surah.com, changing the grading of the hadith. They're doing it. This is documented. It's quite sadistic. It's sickening, but it's it's slightly encouraging in the sense that at least they feel some kind of shame, which is kind of promising. If they feel some kind of shame, that means they're not completely beyond reproach. So maybe there's a little hope for them, but we'll see. I mean, plenty are converting, or at least leaving Islam. But yeah, some of them are actually, coming to the faith. So that's a good step. That's a good thing. But yeah, so very recently, I know this has been a topic that's gone back and forth, whether or not this Algerian boxer is actually male or female. But now new evidence has come out, and I'm going to share that with you guys. I'm going to do that now. A quick review. This dude does some good work, though, and I appreciate his Christian spirit. I've got to question it, and we might get into that too as we watch it. But yeah, I mean, why go on about it? Let's hear what he has to say.
All right, so we finally got some closure to one of the wildest stories of 2024, leaving people feeling everything from vindicated to utterly gaslit. So just a couple of months ago, we covered the controversy surrounding the Algerian boxer Iman Khalif, who dominated opponents in the female boxing Olympics, with perhaps this moment being the most remembered. This was the moment that Iman's opponent broke down crying, screaming, "This is unfair," after being forced to quit in her match against Khalif only 46 seconds into the fight. And
I gotta say it. There's no crying in boxing, but I guess in women's boxing, when you're getting beaten by an yeah, you're going to cry. Hard to blame them, but let's keep going.
Immediately, this started going viral on X, with people saying that the Olympics allowed trans fighters to fight this year, and that Khalif was a biological male posing as a trans woman. And within a day, this claim traveled all across social media, becoming one of, if not the most talked about topic on X, especially after Elon Musk, JD Vance, and JK Rowling tweeted about it. And even I was inspired by the situation to make...
Yeah, I'm not usually get into this kind of stuff or even do reviews, but again, this is quite significant, particularly as it's related to the shorts that I'm doing, again, thanks to the inspiration by Mahmoud. But yeah, I mean, it's also quite significant with regards to mass media messaging, which is my focus, which includes the dawah propagated by mass media. So yeah, and this whole Baphomet culture has been pushed on us from the very beginning, of Hollywood at least, if not longer. So, yeah.
Make a tweet about biological men fighting women in combat sports. But despite all of this pushback, Khalif said that all of this hate only served as sweet fuel and went on to dominate opponents and ultimately winning a gold medal. But Khalif's impressive wins became the focal point that led to further scrutiny, seemingly fueling assumptions that Khalif was really a biological male. However,
and I gotta say, despite how it might sound, there's some like neocons, rhinos, whatever you call them, lifelong libtards suddenly became conservative. I'm happy for them, I guess. But, it's just like converts to orthodoxy, ex-Protestants especially, come in with that Protestant attitude where, us, what we call cradle Orthodox, are happy to have you on board. And we definitely appreciate your zeal for the faith. but then you also bring in that judgmental attitude, and you go from bashing Catholics and Orthodox all your life to now bashing Protestants, which is not an Orthodox ethos. So yeah, this is very much like these libtards that, or no, I'm sorry, libtards, but in essence, really, I mean, like I said, lifelong libtards, and now they're facetiously laughing at women getting beat up by an it, celebrating it, jeering, cackling. I mean, some people are, I don't know, enough of that. It's beyond words. It's very troubling. It's a real problem.
Confident onlookers were, doubts started to rise as soon as these were released. What you're looking at are family photos and a passport that Dad released in defense of his claim that Khalif has always been a female. So it was because of this and other reasons that this led most of us to assume that Khalif was likely intersex instead of transgender. But in the
So, a Muslim lying? No way. No. Takia, what's that?
midst of all of this confusion, the vice president of the World Boxing Organization told a Hungarian newspaper that it's been known since 2022 that Khalif was indeed a biological male, claiming that Khalif was previously disqualified from the IBA due to this. But despite his claims, the International Olympic Committee responded by saying that there's never been any evidence that the fighter even has XY chromosomes and didn't even have elevated levels of testosterone. But as these...
Okay, so the Olympic Committee, with the past several ones, completely promoted paganism, completely ripped into Greece, destroying Greece in 2004 Olympics. Absolutely historical Olympics that should have had the exact opposite thing, but destroyed Greece's economy with all the bad publicity, and then followed it up with taking it to China and celebrating the Chinese Olympics and promoting that as a wonderful thing, and one you should go to. And then followed up with the British one with all the pagan, jab theater, and the rest that followed. You mean that Olympic Committee is promoting this Baphomet abomination, this Muslim it? And we'll get to Muhammad. And again, check out my shorts. Completely obnoxious, but it's a Jewish/Masonic Hollywood and Islam being exposed simultaneously. And that's why you get the split screen and the facts along the way about Islam. Stuff you can see for yourself, judge for yourself, but it's all evidence-based. I challenge anyone to prove me wrong.
Conflicting reports emerged, it became harder for the public to know what to really believe. Okay, so all of this was about 2 months ago. So now let's fast forward to today. After winning the gold medal, Khalif doubled down on being a woman and even decided to sue people for cyberbullying, most notably Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling. Khalif is...
Hold on. So there are lawyers that are willing to sue on the behalf of this it, but there's no lawyers willing to sue. Well, I don't say no lawyers willing to sue. Actually, there has been lawsuits for the 4 lethal serums. But what about all this censorship? This illegal, unconstitutional censorship. Now, I know everyone's being directed, including by the polemicists, to go to Discord and to go to TikTok. The TikTok invasion, they're calling it. So they're basically getting you to go, not as a content creator, but as a follower to BRICS products. All right, so now the Constitution no longer protects you, but is it even protecting you now? Well, technically it is, but people need to get active. Why aren't the Christian apologists banding together and holding these people accountable for all this ethnic cleansing, really? It's virtual ethnic cleansing of Christians online. It's wrong in every way, including, yes, unconstitutional, yes, illegal. Why aren't they getting together? Where's the Christian unity? What are they doing instead? Inciting us to get mad and attack each other? I got a lot of questions, and I'll get to that eventually too. Hopefully really sooner than later. I got a lot to do. So much time. I mean, so much time. So much to do, so little time. But what do we do? Whatever we can.
Has been spotted at celebrity events, and just this month was featured on the cover of Vogue Arabia. But all of this attention...
Vogue Arabia? Well, by the way, forgive me for this sweeping statement of Moroccans, but Arabs also feel about Moroccans. They're not really... So yeah, I understand Morocco is not Algeria, but I'm saying that if Algerians are anything like Moroccans, I can see why they have Vogue Arabia celebrating this it. And of course, once we get, you find out more about the truth about Islam and Mahomet and all that, it all like in why the libtards are showing solidarity, quote unquote, show solidarity with Islam, while bashing Christianity and pretending to be inclusive and open-minded and all these things. Yeah, it all makes sense. It all falls into place. It's all Baphomet worship, anti-Christian Satanism.
And only kept the controversy in the spotlight, making the demand for clarity even stronger. And all of this attention has ultimately led to a new bombshell being dropped. But before we get into that, this story highlights just how important it is to get all of your facts before jumping to conclusions. And that's why I'm happy to have Ground News as the sponsor of today's video.
Okay, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I'm happy you got an ad and you're getting paid to be on YouBoob. I hope you're suing YouBoob and Fascist Book and all of them for their censorship.
So by comparing these different pages, the pink spectrum about a genuine, especially as a Christian media, unlimited health report was leaked earlier this week. It appears that a health report was leaked earlier this week, revealing not only the details about Khalif's internal male hardware, but also the fact that Khalif has XY chromosomes. Now, I want to be clear. I haven't seen much pushback to this claim, aside from some claiming that the source is a Russian propagandist. So keep in mind.
You're a liar. We never heard the Daoists say that one. You're a liar. These liars are calling everyone else a liar when they get exposed. It's just like it's clown world. It's upside down world. It's biblical, literally biblical, literally.
In mind that it's possible that this isn't accurate, although according to all of the available evidence that we have today, it appears that it is. And if it is, then anyone that believed that Khalif was a biological woman appears to have been mistaken. So as soon as this report came out, of course, this left a lot of people upset, feeling like they've been gaslighted into believing something that went against what seems so obvious to them. And of course, this report also raises some significant ethical issues.
Yeah, and also raises the question, so we're seeing this boy being dressed up like a girl. Bachabazi much? No wonder it is so messed up. I mean, in addition to being Muslim. Or I should say, because it's Muslim. What can I say?
Not only because it directly contradicts earlier statements from the IOC, but also because it calls into question their responsibility toward athletes. On page 9 of the IBA's handbook, they clearly state that a woman is a person with XX chromosomes, and anyone with XY chromosomes is not eligible to compete. So this would apply to Khalif, who by these standards is a male and should not have been allowed to compete. And all of this raises the important question of why did they allow Khalif to compete? How much of...
Well, we just talked about it because the Olympic Committee is a Baphomet worshiping, promoting org that needs to be dismantled, let's be frank, or rebuilt, restructured, stat. They're pure evil and need to be stopped. Just like the NFL, the notoriously fake league or fascist libtards or whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, all they do is propagandize, especially from the lockdown. But BLM before that, I mean, it's just disgusting. NFL, by the way, the NFL commissioner is a federal agent. That is an office of the federal government officially. From the very beginning, when the American Football League and the National Football League merged and created that office, it was a federal designated office. And you look at Project Mockingbird and so on. What else needs to be said?
This did the IOC know? And why did they not check chromosomes before allowing Khalif to compete? It's because of these issues that I hope that the Olympics decides to correct this wrong by apologizing not only to all of the millions of people that they apparently misled, but especially to the female fighters that lost their opportunity to win a gold medal this year. For those affected, an apology isn't just a formality, it's a matter of respecting the rules and the athletes who play by them. All right.
Amen. And it's called repentance. Now, is repentance something that's part of this demonic organization, the Olympic Committee? Is it? I'm not going to hold my breath and wait for them to do anything correct about the situation. But what they should do is take that medal, that gold medal, from the and give it to the proper person, the runner-up who actually won, and then on down. And then what do you do with the bronze? But it needs to be corrected stat, public apology, and do it no more. Repent. But they're obviously evil, given all their theater and shenanigans. Well, I'm not going to hold my breath. But yeah, let's do our best to hold them accountable. Enough's enough.
So when it comes to Khalif, here's the thing, and hear me out here before reacting. I think it's
No, I'm going to react before I even say it. And I like this guy, but he does this all the time. Let's pussyfoot. Let's not say anything, because you got to be loving. Yeah, I love people, and that's why I'm saying enough of that stuff. I'm not saying you should like the absolute backward propaganda, anti-Christian ethnic cleansing propaganda piece, which is genocidal in nature, because it prompts people to do what it said a few years later, like U.S. government officials and media was telling the LGBT cult to take up arms and hunt Christians. The same people that want to disarm people are telling the Baphomet worshippers to kill Christians, calling for genocide. So yeah, I love people to the degree that I'm going to rebuke and denounce that, cut off, pluck out, whatever that entails. Now, I'm not telling people that you should do like they said in the video, go, hunt down a queer and beat them up, burn them at the stake like a witch, or whatever. No, but they need to be held accountable. They have psychological issues, and they have spiritual sickness. Both need to be addressed. Period. That is love. That is love. Not this pussyfooting around. Oh, let's be nice. Yeah, we've been nice, and now here we are. Again, the silence. How did someone just recently put it? But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. The silence is deafening. It's like there's three trees, right? Talked about scripture. We talk about often, always the good fruit and the bad fruit, but it's not the good fruit and the bad fruit. That's a misconception. So often we were misconceived. It's not that money is the love of evil. I mean, money is the evil, but the love of money is the root of all evil. So again, it's not just the good fruit or bad fruit. It's good fruit, bad fruit, and no fruit. One gets cut down at the roots, the other gets thrown into the fire. I mean, that's quite the illustration. You get thrown into the fire. Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, why would they, if they're not being held accountable in any way, why would they want to repent? See? And that's why I cut this guy off. I'm not just going to spread this message of, let's coddle them. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. All right. And I appreciate his work, but he needs to work on that. Okay. All right. Let's get into another one of my favorites. Rob Christian. So I'm going to do shorts on this, actually. And there's another one. I mean, there's just so much to choose from. It goes on and on. I still want to do Paul Sutliff's slavery thing, which I want to do one of the, that's extremely important. I'll do that too. But right now I'm focusing on Mahomo, thanks to Mahmoud. So yeah, let him just say it for himself here. Take a listen to, speaking of which, Mahomo and this whole show solidarity with Islam by the left and mass media. What's behind it? What's going on? Why are they all uniting?
Now that we proved that Muhammad did that to his daughter, let me show you what he did to Abu Bakr. Now we have some Gaylord action.
Okay, so just so you'll know, a large part of this video, he's over 2 hours in. A lot of it is focusing, not all of it, but a lot of that is focusing on the pedophilia stuff. So I will be covering that too, but he shares some new stuff that I'll be doing shorts too. Let me go ahead and share this link, actually, with you folks. I should have shared the last one too, my bad. I'll go back and do it in the description because I already X'd out of it. So this is in the comment section, the video for Rob Christian's live stream that I'm sharing now. I encourage you to watch it. It's really good stuff. He shares some really good stuff. Ahmed also, David, ex-Muslim, Ahmed ex-Muslim. He goes into this stuff and finds other stuff that nobody else is talking about too, which is really, really cool. You know, these guys are reading these texts and translating from the Arabic into English and sharing some things that we don't always hear. So, yeah, let me share this also on Rumble. And by the way, if you're not a Rumble, please get their stat. That's a great platform, including, or if not especially, your content creator. They automatically save a file for you, which you can download, so you have automatic backup. But also, I have 18 followers on Rumble, but I have like 5 times that watching. Where with YouTube is the exact opposite. I have about 150 subscribers, and maybe a percentage, about let's say 20% watching. So 500 times versus 20%. That's I'm sorry, that 500 times, 5 times, 500%. That's a big difference as a content creator. But as someone who watches content, it is currently the only free live streaming platform that exists, Rumble. So I know we're creatures of habit, but to keep this going, and they're silencing us. And by the way, StreamYard just sent the notice and I'm going to get to that. I mean, this is ever since the lockdown, all these platforms have been changing. Some later than others, but StreamYard just took their step toward. Well, in the late 20s, when the Arab Spring, the 20 teens, when the Arab Spring was taking place with Egypt and Syria, guess who stepped in? Barack Hussein Obama, and undid it. This democratic thing, this uprooting of a tyrant in Egypt, and this lesser of evils in Syria. They turned around and empowered the Kurds in Syria, and then also empowered the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt to put back in place, in power, the tyrant Muslim leader. And then Barack Hussein Obama and Hillary Rodham Clinton were both publicly saying, oh, well, you know what? Because they organized those things on Facebook, we need to get serious about Facebook. And lo and behold, Zuckerberg, Jew, went and before Congress, and next thing you know, he's more powerful than ever before. And there's all of a sudden all this crazy censorship, and nobody's being held accountable. And then the lockdown, even more censorship, Snopes and so on. Nobody's being held accountable. Here we are on the verge of 2025, decade from the Arab Spring, practically, 5 years from the lockdown. And when it comes to the censorship, nobody's being held accountable. I'm calling everyone. I try to do my part. I've got very limited resources, but I'm still trying to do my part. Everyone needs to be holding these people accountable. It's illegal. And stop going to Discord and TikTok. Stop empowering bricks. The grass is definitely greener. It's red. Bricks is going to... Anyways, I don't want to get too dramatic, but yeah, please, come on. So let's stop buying into this stuff. Come on, people. For the love of God.
Between Momo, this is also new, and
come on,
Abu Bakr, the father of Aisha. Gay action between Momo and the father of Aisha, Abu Bakr. Sunnis will go crazy now. If you are Sunni, you're going to tap dance. Keep tap dancing, Sunnis. LGBTQ plus between Muhammad and Abu Bakr. New stuff, by the way, guys. New. I never talked about this before. Okay? Look. Book number 1. Samitu an-Nujum. Samitu an-Nujum, page 441. Okay? About Abu Bakr and Muhammad. What does it say, Rob? It says, Abu Bakr used to kiss the mouth of Muhammad and also his neck.
Okay. So he married his little daughter. And then, did some questionable things after Momo suspiciously died. But meanwhile, they're butt buddies. What do you know? Anyone really surprised? I mean, very little bit, because it's news. It's new. Something I haven't heard anywhere else before. But when you look at Islam and Muhammad himself, really it's not surprising at all, is it?
His neck and his mouth. Muhammad and Abu Bakr had a sexy time, and Abu Bakr used to give a kiss here and a kiss there in the neck and on the mouth of Muhammad. So, translation.
They're queer. That's the translation.
Abu Bakr, the father of Aisha, gave kisses in the neck and on the mouth of the Prophet.
Okay, we get it.
Ya khabar aswad. Boom!
One of the things that kills me about Rob is he repeats things like a dozen times. So, I mean, it does a better
That's the Prophet for you guys.
job
we
of
have
communicating than I do.
Remember the white one, the very white one is Muhammad, okay? With the
Right.
white beard. And this is Abu Bakr, his best friend.
It's a bit much.
So Muhammad
Let's speed it up a little bit.
did that, yes. And here is another book.
Oh, come on, playback speed. Here we go.
Is it big enough for you, Sunni Muslims?
Is it going still? Oh, you got silent?
Moment of silence for our Muslim friends, and
Okay.
specifically the Sunnis who never heard before that Muhammad and Abu Bakr had a sexy time. Kiss here, a little kiss there. Shuf 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 Habibi. I once watched a movie that someone sent me. The name was Shuf Shuf Habibi, a Moroccan movie or something, with the beautiful subtitles. And I think it was a German movie, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, I wish that, let me see. I can't, I mean, that deserves some kind of clip. Here we go.
Oh, let's not. Oh, I got that.
Shuf Shuf Habibi. I think it was a German movie. I can't remember. Shuf Shuf Habibi. Look, look, Habibi. That's what Abu Bakr said to Muhammad. Come here, please. Ya Habibi. Ya Muhammad. Ya Muhammad. Come here. I'm Abu Bakr. Let me give you a kiss in your neck and a kiss on your mouth. Gay. Gay. How many Sunni Muslims know this? And here's the
As he would say, emotional damage. Here we go.
Asshole mio, oh sada mia, leha.
Yeah, that's Islam
link. Rob,
in Hollywood.
you created all of these books. Yeah, of course. Here's the link. About both Fatima and Abu Bakr combined. Okay. I mean, what is this? What is this, my Muslim friends? And I'm talking to the Sunnis. Why is Abu Bakr kissing the neck and the mouth of Muhammad? And why is Muhammad motorboating his baby daughter, Fatima, and putting his face between her nipples?
Oh, Fatima, my bad. I got mixed up. Yeah, it's all the sexual deviancy. It gets confusing after a while. It's hard to keep up with.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, what's left? Did you know that this also happened between Muhammad and Ali? Look. Now we have Muhammad plus Ali. Sexy time. Muhammad and Ali. Forget about Abu Bakr. Even Ali, yeah. Muhammad kept it in the family, guys. Muhammad, I think I already showed that once before. Now we have Muhammad plus Ali. Sexy time.
He loves his incest. When you thought Zainab was bad enough, his daughter-in-law / cousin, then we got Ali, his anyways, let's
Jama' at-Tirmidhi 3727 narrated Abu Sa'id that the Messenger of Allah said to Ali, Ya Ali, yo beautiful Ali, it's not permissible for anyone to be junub in this masjid except for you and I. Rob, where's the problem, Rob? Well, the problem is they are both releasing semen inside the mosque. They just released together, both of them released semen inside the mosque. Now, question is, what were they doing together inside that mosque while releasing semen? What were Ali and Muhammad doing inside the mosque when they were releasing semen? Who was giving it to who?
And again, how much Quran traditions or just Islam is just so full of it. I mean, you could just pick and choose at any given moment whatever you want to say as a Muslim to justify it, because it's always contradicting itself. So it's just basically full of it. Because Sharia law says, I mean, their prayers in a gay, this shouldn't be in a mosque. Remember, for example, Aisha scratching off all the jizz, dry jizz off of his clothes before he goes to mosque to pray, for example. But that's in Sharia law as well, of course. So, I mean, these people, I don't know. Okay.
Did Ali bow in front of Muhammad, or did Muhammad bow in front of Ali? Of course, this is Sunni, Jama'at Tirmidhi. Now, some Muslims will say this is daif. Well, here, it is daif, but wait. Why wait, Rob? Because it's not daif. It's Hassan. They played with the grading on Sunnah.com. Rob, no way. They played with the grading. They corrupted the grading. They made something that is Hassan daif. Yes, look, here's my proof.
And if you look at his video on Night of the Jinn, where, again, I did a short. My last short was on that. You're welcome, Mahmoud, whatever. Yeah, so with that one, again, they did the same thing. They changed that one's actually Sahih in the original Arabic text, print text. It's greatest Sahih. But now, to cover it up, they're labeling on the digital thing with the press of a button. And this is what's the problem with censorship and how much power this WWW's mobile gulags have over us and over reality. It's an absolute lies, deception. And the deception, the misinformation, disinformation is being empowered, while us Christians are being silenced, are being ethnically cleansed virtually, and being called to be genocided in real life too. Kitty Lyson. I mean, this is the epoch we live in. That's the reality. I know nobody wants to, or very few want to admit that, but I mean, how can you deny it at this point?
So, to give you an idea again, before I show you how they play and corrupt the grading, the Messenger of Allah said, "Oh Ali, it's not permissible for anyone to be in a state of junub in the masjid except me and you." As junub means, guys, when we talk about junub, it's a state of ritual impurity, do sexual intercourse. So either Ali effed Muhammad or Muhammad effed Ali in the anus, or seminal discharge.
Yeah, and I get what you mean, Andrew. Hadith grade doesn't matter, and I don't want to assume what you mean, but let me add to that by saying that even daif is acceptable, even though they want to portray it as otherwise. So, but what do you mean by that? Do you mind like either coming up and talking about it or in the chat, sharing that? And thanks for being here, by the way.
And to prove that they play with the grading, look, here's the report in the actual books, not on some disgusting, deceptive website. No. Here is the proof. In Darus Sahaba, here is the book. Okay, it says, "Ya Ali, لا يحل لأحد أن يجنب في هذا المسجد غيري وغيرك." And the chain is trustworthy. Bum, 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 bum. So how did a trustworthy chain become daif? How did a trustworthy chain became daif, you disgusting liars? Sunnah.com. Guys, this is why we say, without lies, Islam dies. Because they have to.
Yeah, and in this case, without fear, Islam is queer. That's what we're starting out with. And we're seeing here how queer it is.
Deceive the non-Arabic speakers like you and you and you and maybe a lot of you. But when Rob comes out to play, when Rob Christian is here, the lies, taqiyya, and deception becomes daif. Because I'm here to bury your lies, Muslims, when you translate. That's source number one, book number one. Here's another book. Book number two. You see different book. This is a commentary for Jama'at Tirmidhi. For the same book, guys, that you see here, we have a commentary for it. This is the book of commentary for Jama'at Tirmidhi. Volume 10, page 160. We go down. We see that the hadith is Hassan Gharib. Hassan Gharib means better than any Hassan hadith even. Did you know that? Rob, can you prove that? Sure. Look. So guys, what happens is on Sunnah.com, they lied about the grading. Okay. They did what? They lied about the grading.
Yeah, take care. That's what they do. They try to cover up the vileness, which is kind of interesting. At this point, now that more and more this whole not only sodomy, but pedophilia is being normalized by mass media and by some top-down leadership around the world. This whole show solidarity with Islam / be anti-Christian / show solidarity or promote or accept everything else is pagan. It's just taken on a new form. Like it's just it's supplanting Christianity. Our ability to even shame people. Like that's my approach, using the libtard mockery to get their attention. Oh, that's how they get entertained, and that's the language, the mode that I use. But that's going to lose its value very quickly, if not already, because they will have no shame. They all are showing solidarity with each other, all of these anti-Christians, all of them. And therefore, all this vile behavior, including murder, as we're seeing, as they continue to call for genocide, they'll have no shame for that. It'll be just like they're mentally conditioned, I guess, with the purge type of thing. Hope I'm wrong, but I mean, I'm not, to some degree, in the sense that really I'm just reiterating what Scripture says. I know this sounds vain, but Scripture does describe this kind of thing, that it will happen. It will come to pass.
What else is new? They have to lie because this is awkward, man. This is a disaster for the Muslims. Okay? This is a disaster, right? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh no. Interesting.
Look, guys. If I can pull up something for you to give you an idea what's going on when they lie about the grading. Since here it says هذا حديث حسن غريب. Now let's see what a حسن غريب is. Okay? حسن غريب.
Just for the record, for those that don't know. Come on, Rob. Let's get to it. Come on, man.
If you do a simple Google search, guys, you'll find, for example, this website, the famous islamweb.net. The famous islamweb.net.
Look at that logo, by the way.
I hope it's going to work, though.
Look at
It's
this.
loading.
I mean,
Should work.
is that satanic or what?
Browser else.
Never mind, Masonic.
Different browser. No problem. Look, regarding the question about Hassan Gharib Hadith acceptable to At-Tirmidhi. Question. So he's asking about if it's reliable or not. Answer from the Imam. Look, answer. After
From the Imam. Okay, so still there are going to be Muslims that might hear this and, lie about it, deny it. That's what they do. Or they'll start talking about Scripture. Trying, slandering that.
a lot of blah, 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 blah. The statement of Imam At-Tirmidhi on the hadith that it is Hassan Gharib means that the hadith is acceptable to him and not weak. Rather, it is even stronger than the hadith regarding which he says Hassan only. So it's even much stronger than the Hassan. You see how they lied? Do you see how they lied on Sunnah.com? These disgusting liars and deceivers, how they lied on Sunnah.com here? Calling it daif. How did it become daif? The whole ummah is daif, exactly. They have to lie about their own mothers. They will throw even their own mothers under the bus. They will deny their own mothers and fathers just to defend Muhammad. How? By lying. Of course, by lying. Do you see it? Let me give you the link to Islam Web. The link for this website that you see on the screen about Ali and Muhammad giving it to each other. You see it? And here's the link that they said is daif. Well, it's not daif. Lying, disgusting liars and deceivers. What can we expect from Islam, guys? They have to lie to keep Islam going. They have to lie about their books. They have to lie about their prophet. They have to lie about everything to keep Islam alive.
And libtards. I mean, they do the same thing. It's just one big cesspool. Again, it's one big anti-Christian quagmire.
Because without lies, Islam dies. Boom. Boom. A situation with Abu Bakr and a gay situation, releasing semen, with Ali, his own cousin. Muhammad effed his own cousin Ali. I mean, the Shia are going to go crazy now because Shia love Ali more than the Sahaba. They curse certain Sahaba. They curse Aisha. So the Shia who are watching, they will go crazy now. According to the Sunni books, Muhammad gave it to Ali. Or Ali gave it to Muhammad in the back where the sun doesn't shine. Just like the jinns gave it to Muhammad in his anus as well. When Allah sent the thousands of jinns. Just like the other cousin, guys, Muhammad really kept it in the family. When I say Muhammad kept it in the family, I'm not kidding, guys.
All right, Rob. Why does it get so graphic? Why? I mean, I guess it serves its purpose. Him and too many Marys, they love to get graphic. But yeah, it serves its purpose. It's fair enough. I mean, it's very real what they do. So why not shock us into accepting just how perverse it is and how, I don't know, beyond words, really.
What about Abu Sufyan, remember? Abu Sufyan raped Muhammad in the anus. And so did the uncle, Abu Talib, the father of Ali. So guys, both the uncle and the cousin, so both the father of Ali and Ali gave it to Muhammad.
Now, isn't Ali the one who sucked his tongue, Muhammad's tongue? And then later, quote unquote, scholars said, well, that was, to save him, so to quench his thirst. What the hell? But anyway, isn't that the same Ali? Kitty Latham, man, these people. And I said people, I cringe. I don't want to use that title. Anyway.
See how what kind of gay cult Islam is? And yet these liars and deceivers say, well, it's haram to be gay. Well, your prophet was gay. Ali was gay. Abu Bakr was gay.
I would say there's a difference between gay and trisexual. I'm not a big fan of that use of gay. Very little sodomites are actually gay. Very happy. Most of them are queer, strange, what we used to call hogs. Just basically disgruntled, obnoxious, aggressive. So, and the same thing with lesbians, dykes. They're the same way. So we should really get away from this whole use of gay thing, because it's, again, misinformation, disinformation. It's inaccurate, it's false, and it's misleading. It's the opposite of the truth.
Proof after proof after proof. هذا حديث حسن. يا علي لا يحل لأحد أن يجنب في هذا المسجد غيري وغيرك. هذا حديث حسن غريب. This hadith is even more authentic than any Hasan hadith created by Imam al-Tirmidhi himself. Any Muslim? Any Muslim on Discord who wants to say Rob your line?
There's actually a couple of Muslims that do go up on this live stream, so that was interesting. One of them stayed there for a while, but yeah.
What is this religion, man? Any Muslim? Any Muslim? Can you post the link? Oh, yes, I can. Let me give you the link for Ali and Muhammad as well.
All right,
the link for Ali.
Come on, Rob, get to it.
Okay, before I forget it. He gave it to his grandson on both Discord and on YouTube. There you go. Now I am forced to go to what Muhammad did to the...
See what I mean? He's promoting Discord. Why? It really irks me.
Sons of Ali. Maybe that was the revenge. Muhammad had to do some revenge. Muhammad took revenge. Sorry, guys. This is Islam. This is Muhammad. Let's see what kind of revenge. Rob, what kind of revenge, Rob? Rob? This kind of revenge.
Okay, so I hope you guys caught the Janub thing on the bottom. All this redundancy, I might have just skipped ahead. So the Janub on the bottom is basically, like you said, actually, he did say it at the very beginning. A discharge. So as Bill Clinton put it, sexual relations. So yeah, they had sexual relations inside a mosque. I mean, this is a real picture, man. This what the hell are we looking at? What the hell is this? This is what the left shows solidarity with. The anti-Christian Baphomet idolizers. Kitty Latham.
Gay and incest at the same time. Incest, gay, and child. I mean,
Oh yeah, and so incest is not okay when white people do it. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm encouraging incest, but I'm just pointing out the hypocrisy of the left. They'll call white people rednecks for their incest, rightfully so. But then when the Arabs do it, they go of color. We're showing solidarity with. It's cultural. Are you serious? This is cultural? I'm starting to understand why some set some witches on fire back in the day. Not that I'm calling for anyone to be set on fire, but I'm starting to understand why. I mean, some things not only need to be stopped, but you want to eliminate every trace of it. Not to mention an example. I get it. Again, don't go set people on fire. God forbid. But this needs to be stopped stat. All of them were guilty of it. The Hindus too. Your Dalai Lama.
pedophilia. That's what Muhammad is. That's what Momo was. Gay, he gave it to his grandson, the son of Fatima and Ali. Ali is his cousin. Fatima is supposedly his daughter. And this is his grandson. This is Muhammad. Giving it to his grandson. Rob, no way. Yes, yes. First, let me show you the link of Islam Q&A, where the scholars admit that it's sahih. وأما حديث نص النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لسان الحسن فهو حديث صحيح. And this is in the book of Imam Ahmad, in his Musnad Ahmad, hadith number 16,848. But the sucking of the tongue of Al-Hasan by Muhammad is sahih. Look, everywhere it's sahih. You see, it's sahih, sahih, sahih. Very authentic. Like, ya akhwan, what is this? This is a prophet of God? Muslims, is this a prophet of God? Or a nasty pedophile who not only slept with Aisha, but also was sucking on the tongue of his grandsons? Like this. So do not be discussed. This is an actual photo, guys. This is not AI. You can find this photo literally on the internet, how they are doing it to the children. This is exactly how Muhammad gave a French to Al-Hasan. Oh, Muhammad, man. And they claim this is a prophet of God. And to show you from the actual books, here's the actual books. So this is Islam Q&A. Let's see if I can give you the link for Islam Q&A. Yes, I can. Look, here's the link. Unfortunately, I only have it in Arabic, but if you right-click and choose Google Translate, you'll get the idea. Okay, that's the Islam Q&A link where it says that it's sahih. And from the physical book, okay, here is my physical book that I have. In the Khair al-Aqba by Muhibbuddin Ahmad bin Abi Abdullah al-Tabari. Okay. Khair al-Aqba, okay. Page 219. Page 219. Chain of narration is sahih, as we mentioned. The scholar said it's sahih. Footnote, do you see, guys, the footnote? You have always the dividing line, where, for example, Sheikh Ibn Ketchup, Ibn Footnote, he merged the footnote with the actual hadith on top. But we are Christians. We don't do that. We don't corrupt hadith by putting footnotes in the hadiths, right? But the hadith that you see is sahih. We go to the actual hadith here, 3, footnote, the actual hadith, and it says that Muhammad, كان الرسول يمص لسان الحسن. Muhammad was sucking on the tongue of, literally licking him upside down in his mouth. And specifically the tongue. Okay? The tongue. French kiss, bro. Bro, if this is a prophet, then I must be the Pope. If Muhammad was a true prophet, then I must be the Pope. Okay? Rob, can you give us the link for the actual book that we...
I'd buy that for $1.
Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I'm muted. I was just complaining. Just complaining. I was just taking a break. I guess that was your accidental moment of silence. Yeah, I was just. I mean, I was just saying I had to back off from this because it's just too much. It's overwhelming. And I was actually praising those that I'm always critical of, the other apologists who, yeah, I mean, yeah, God bless them for. I mean, like I said, I've only been at this for a couple of years. I mean, my focus is mass media exposing its conditioning, its messaging, which includes dawah, this promotion of Islam. But they're just like right in it. I mean, they're just at it all the time, and spend a few hours a week. I mean, I don't know who spends more, but it's just, I mean, how they manage to just keep on going. I mean, God bless them and their strength for doing this, for tackling this stuff in the way they are, exposing it as they should. But again, I'm extremely concerned that all this Baphomet idolization is being normalized, or has been normalized since the very beginning. Again, we looked at The Squaw Man, 1914, the very first feature film, Paramount Pictures, very first sound studio in Hollywood, idolizing Native American, Indian, pagan culture and practice. So, amongst other things. So, from very onset, not only us Americans and those who are influenced by Hollywood worldwide, not only us, but not only our parents, not only grandparents, but on and on, great-grandparents and so on, have been influenced by this kind of conditioning. And now here we are, reaping those bad fruits, suffering from it. We're suffering it. But we need to continue fighting. We can't, I mean, now that Trump is president, I know someone want to sit on their thumbs again. But no, we need to tackle this top down. Forgive me, not top down. It would be nice if we had good leadership that actually cares. No, but bottom up. We need to tackle this in our neighborhoods and so on and so forth, in every organization that you can get it involved, including class action suits. The influence that these cell phones have, this mobile internet, if you haven't seen it, not willing to acknowledge it with the lockdown, I don't know what else to tell you. It's the game changer. It's where it all begins and ends, is this internet stuff. We need to hold this censorship accountable. So quick break from this. Let me get into this next topic. Actually, you know what? Let me share this first, and then we'll get into the censorship. Okay. Oh, let me make it bigger. Looks better. Check this out. And then this is Hollywood. This is a series I ran for a decade, which is quite a run. Extremely influential. Married with Children. Basically contributed quite a bit to breaking up the family unit and all that entails, which again, we're reaping the bad fruits of that in the 21st century.
Everything is just great.
Look, Bundy, if I need someone to suck up to me, I'll go to my writers. What do you...
Anybody notice anything about the writers? I mean, it's like revelation of the method to me. Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe those are actual writers from the show, and they're, that's just their 5 minutes of fame. I don't know. Are they a myth? The noble savage. Oh, there you go. There you go. Nice. Way to come in with that. Wow, that was epic, Andrew. Thanks. That just gave me a warm fuzzy, man. Appreciate that. All right. Yeah, let's continue.
You want?
Well, about a month ago, my daughter Kelly auditioned for the part of Carrie and didn't get it. But when she watched the premiere, she thought you stole her idea and trashed my family. Now, I'm the kind of guy who can roll with the punches, but as you can see, my wife and kids are pretty broken up about it.
Okay. So what I'm trying to get to, yeah, I mean, you can see the whole family slander, just these extreme tropes. And the airhead daughter, the slutty one, and the perv, idiot, nerdy son who's physically deformed, ugly, short. The trashy wife that's useless, doesn't do anything, useless eater. And the husband who's incompetent, can't provide, and a bit of a beta male. His wife and his children mock him on the regular. But let me get to this part. This is the significant part. What's coming up next?
Bundy, I've been in this business since my wife was a baby.
Okay, laugh track, audience, both. Let me play that again, just in case you missed it. It's quite significant. This is unfortunately typical Hollywood, the standard. Polanski, the Steins, I mean, on and on.
I've been in this business since my wife was a baby.
Okay, why is that funny? Anyone? So through comedy, they've normalized pedophilia. They've normalized all kinds of things through comedy, including this genocidal behavior, this attitude, this mentality, this mob thing that we're suffering from in the 21st century. It's a very real problem. It comes from mass media. It comes from Muslims. It's coming from BRICS. I mean, I talk about my Chinese students and so on and their attitude, how they want to kill everyone. They want revenge. Revenge is a big motivating factor, and that's what the Chinese use as well for their agenda to motivate their citizens for world domination. And again, this is not conspiracy theory. They're quite open about it these days. All right, so let me go to the censorship. I mean, we get Islam, especially in these circles. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to Rob Christians. The link was in the chat, so if you want to watch it in full, and I encourage you to, because it's a good one. He's got a lot of good ones. Please do. But I don't know if I can handle any more of that emotionally, so let's move on. Censorship. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, let's watch this real quick. And I haven't watched all of this, to be honest with you, in full. So we're watching it together for the first time. Oh, by the way, let me share this first. StreamYard's terms of service. Check out what it's saying. This is like at the very beginning. You see this is a lot of writing below. But important notice, this agreement contains a binding individual arbitration requirement and class action waiver, which means you and StreamYard agree to resolve most disputes in binding individual arbitration, and not by means of class arbitration, class action suit, or any other kind of representative proceeding, or a jury trial. I'm waiving away my rights. Why don't you just ask for my children, my blood while you're at it? Give you a lace them. So I had no choice but to click on yes if I wanted to continue using StreamYard. And no, it's not free for me. I paid for it. So officially December 1st is when these changes take place. You may see in 3 weeks my video is looking a bit different because of this. Even though I paid for it, I'll be canceling, and they could go to hell sooner than later. All of them can. And we need to hold all of them accountable. Yeah. So let's get back to this guy.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, today we're not going to be.
Oh, by the way, that was yesterday when they put that up. I was going to generate the stream yesterday, and I saw that, and I just put it to the side. Needed to take a breather, so I got back to it today. That's a late notification. Otherwise, the notification for the stream, and actually would have been different. So I was gonna do the Eddie Murphy thing continuation, but yeah, again, this whole racism thing is just taking a lot out of me too. Yeah, all of it is, but I'm gonna get to it. I know I keep saying that, but I will. I plan on doing that early this week, maybe Wednesday the latest. All right, back to this. What do we do about it? That's what's important.
Doing a reaction video. Rather, I want to fill you in on some of the challenges that anyone creating historical content on YouTube is really dealing with in a significant way these days. And I know that this has been a problem for a while now, but it seems as though just even in the last couple of weeks, it has escalated in a significant way. And what I'm talking about is the problem of demonetization and ad restriction and even age restriction on videos simply talking about historic content. And
see that? They're rewriting history at the click of a button. At the threat of demonetization, basically starving you to death for those that are actually relying on this to survive. And by the way, within the next week or two, I'll be doing videos where I'll be begging you for money. Forgive me, but it's bad, people. I don't know. I'm going to make it through the winter. I'm going to need your help. Please forgive me. But that's coming up. You're going to get some insight on what I'm living, where I'm living, how this house is about to fall apart, and so on. And I really don't have any outs. Thousands of applications. I'm stuck. I need help. Anyway, so enough of that. Forgive me for even mentioning that, but yeah, I'm not making any money, so I'm relying on strangers, begging strangers right now for some help. It's not going to take much, like, I don't know, $300 a month, which is not nothing, but if I can get a bunch of people to somehow chip in and keep me going to get me at least through the winter till I can find some kind of better employment. I am employed. It's just I have no clients. Nobody's got any money. So I'm an online teacher, tutor, and yeah, my clients are dwindling a little bit. I mean, they're going from, you know, a lesson every day to, you know, a lesson every other day to once a week to once a month to, you know, canceling altogether. So yeah, it's just it's rough out there. So if anybody just so happens somehow has some extra cash and is not only willing to help me keep this content going, which I would do if I could get that kind of money, I could fully dedicate myself to this creating content, including edited videos, which I really enjoy. But and improve the quality. But yeah, you'll keep me alive. No joke. Anyway, here we go. Let's go back to this.
And I want to use a few examples just from the last several weeks that I have personally dealt with, and then talk about some of what I see happening across the board for YouTube content creators in general. So first, a little bit of background. If you're not familiar with the process for how a YouTube video goes live on the channel and how content creators make money in the first place, basically, once you've created your video, you upload it to your channel. In the process of uploading to your channel, then you do kind of a self-check on the content of your video. And there are a whole series of things that you have to rate yourself on when it comes to your content. Is there violent content? Is there graphic or sensitive?
See, I didn't even know that. Okay, YouBoob is always like, when I'm doing stuff that pushes the envelope as an adult, they're always like changing it. I didn't even know I could set it to begin with. Cool, I just learned something. There we go. I need to spend more time on this stuff.
Content. Are there topics that could be potentially seen as hate speech and all these sorts of things? And you rate these things and you tell YouTube's algorithm what your video is about. So for example, if I was doing a video and I was talking about riots that happened at some point in history, that is an act of violence, but I'm sharing it in such a way that doesn't exploit that violence, that it doesn't praise it, doesn't glorify it, and doesn't graphically depict that violence. So I would tell YouTube that. And then its own algorithm is going to compare what it's detecting in the video and in the words, and it's going to come up with whether or not it thinks you're accurate. 95% of the time, that's the case. But occasionally then what happens is once the checks are done and it says, okay, you're all clear, you can run.
I'm sorry, but that process sounds really suspicious to me. It's kind of fishy. It's kind of like we're being told to program the algorithms. That's what it feels like to me. So I don't know about this. I don't know what this. Anyway, let's continue. Let's see. Maybe it's got a solution about the censorship instead of how to help the censorship.
Ads on this video, which is how YouTubers make their money. The ads that you see, whether you skip them or you watch them, that's where the revenue comes from. And YouTube takes 40% of that ad revenue, and then 60% goes to the channel that is hosting the video.
Yeah, I'm not monetized for the record, but even if I were, I don't have the subscribers. But anyway.
Now, with all of that in mind, what has been happening lately is that a day or two after the video goes live, or sometimes even within an hour or so, YouTube's AI is detecting things and saying, no, this is a violation. This is something that our ad partners do not want to run ads on. So we're restricting it. So your video may stay live, but you're not going to make any money off of it.
Okay, so yeah, that's all fine and dandy for folks like this guy, but get rid of this. This is so annoying. There. But you know, for the rest of us who from you know, I created my channel as an educational thing, so I'm not monetized by default. Not to mention my region is being excluded for some reason. I got a notification about that. I get all kinds of notifications from YouBoob. I kind of, you know, they're speaking. They're like Islam. They constantly contradict themselves. So who knows? But anyway, let's get back to this guy.
For me personally, where this has happened is one was a 2-second clip of a tiny swastika down in the corner of the screen in a video about the Axis powers of World War II. It wasn't praising the National Socialists. It wasn't glorifying them. It was talking about, in fact, how badly they mishandled things during the war. And as part of that, it very briefly showed a tiny little swastika on a flag in an image, a larger image of other things. YouTube dinged that and said, no ads for you on that video because of that 2-second clip in a 40-minute video.
Yeah, even more interesting than all this ad demonetization jazz. Again, I'm not monetized. Educational. I was trained in this copyright stuff, fair use, and all that. You know, they so heavily censor me. I can't even comment on things, and that's been going on for years. So yeah. I mean, it goes way beyond what this guy's addressing, way beyond.
Another recent one where I had this happen was,
for example, you know, I'll do an edited video and I'll post it, and some of the stuff gets approved, but some of the stuff doesn't. I'll go back and re-edit it, repost it, and the other stuff now all of a sudden isn't, that was previously approved isn't, and I'll go back and re-edit it, and all of a sudden other stuff is now approved but not re-approved, and it goes on and on and on. So you can say, well, the algorithms are glitching now. I mean, there's something else certainly going on. Getting double strikes for the same thing. I mean, the behavior is so questionable and so backward. Again, yeah, I had a clip of a video, what I would call a documentary, an hour and a half. How does mass media support Islam, kind of thing that I did like 3 years ago, and they took out a clip of that, saying that I was promoting fascism or something, when I was doing the exact opposite, obviously. And lo and behold, they've allowed it. So someone stepped in, probably a Muslim or something, and you know, gave me hell. You know, they're not being held accountable, and that's the problem. You know, they're silencing Christians and protecting the evil. That's a real problem, especially given how much influence, how many people, well, let's be frank, they condition worldwide.
With some videos I did where I was reviewing some videos from the National Archives YouTube channel. It was the ones Know Your Ally, Britain. There were 2 parts to it. And in this case, the video went past the letter, shortened version for Japanese. So there's a couple of examples. Another prominent example.
Okay, so this guy's boring the hell out of me. And this is the problem when I was, a couple of years ago, before even ChatGPT was all of a sudden, hey, a thing. Again, way back when I did the live stream with Thaddeus. Also, Hollywood's Dawa, I think that one was called. Yeah, I mentioned even on that, you know what, the censorship, and I need to do a video on this censorship and call it, is AI replacing God? With the intent to show that, yeah, Christians are being silenced while this other stuff is being promoted. And here we are a couple of years later, and, you know, it really grieves me that I got pushback on that, as I say, pushback. I got even pretty much mocked when I said that and refuted. And then there was some admittance to that. And then more and more refuted, even, you know, conspiracy theory and just some real nastiness in these circles. Instead of fighting it back, they're overly concerned about their likes and their numbers and their monetization. I'm going to be frank. I find that disgusting. It's very troubling. I got to wonder, okay, yeah, money's not the root of evil. But if you're more concerned about that than about this fascism, this violence, this very powerful evil through www, what can I say? All right, so let's skip these examples. I got what happened when I was doing when I was working on this documentary that I wanted to do. Is AI replacing God? I got overwhelmed with examples, and next thing I know, ChatGPT came on the scene, and people were promoting it, and I was like, okay, this is the beginning of the end. Now it's reactive, not forewarning, and what's the point since everyone already knows it? And so now, and then the rest of this, the AI thing is now a discussion, and everybody's now using AI. These circles are actually promoting people to, pushing people, encouraging people to use AI, supplanting us. I mean, mighty. What's next? Promoting Elon Musk and his robots? Telling you should get microchip because it'll make you an X-Man? What else are they going to be doing for the sake of monetization? Can you lace them?
Because if we dare, even at a distance, to show a body that might be in the background in a photo, an old photo, even a black and white photo, it's not going to be able to be shown. So what is the remedy for YouTube content creators? Well, here's how it works, and I want to walk you through it because I've been dealing with this. 6 of my last 7 videos that have gone up on the channel have been demonetized in this process because of hate speech or violence. I had one the other day that showed a 2-second clip of an artillery gun firing during World War II. It was a video about George Patton. It showed the gun firing. No one died. There were no explosions. It was just a gun firing, and it was demonetized for that. That's how.
And again, this is a guy who's just showing history, and they're giving him all kinds of hell. 1984, much? Fahrenheit, what is it, 451? 457? I always get that mixed up. I mean, book burn much? Commie, Nazis, pagan censorship much?
How bad it's gotten at this point. So what's the remedy? So here's what happens. When that happens, typically it's after the video has already gone live. And so YouTube says, boom, you're not making money anymore. Well, the video is already live. Most of your views, 80% of your views happen in the first probably 72 hours that the video is live. And it's during that time that YouTube is demonetizing these videos. It's killing the incentive for content creators to make the videos because you're losing all that revenue.
Did you catch that? Killing the incentive. Yeah. They're killing morale. They're prohibiting us. They're pushing us away, pushing us out. Yet people like me got to ring my bell because, forgive me, but there's not many examples. I mean, there's 4 Mormons and so on, but very few people are out here hours per day dedicated to exposing this, combating this evil, and not getting paid to do it. Despite all this discouragement, and it's quite discouraging. And thank God for people like you. There's so many give the gospel and so on. Some of them are nasty. So some of the mods, I'm gonna be frank, some of the mods are just horrendous. I've been ghost banned and so on, so forth. This other one is two-faced all over the place. That's yeah. I mean, some of them are just really bad, but some of the mods are just relentless. You got folks like Phil, Andrew here is all over the place. Yeah, just a whole list of people that are just mods that are amazing, do amazing work. They're the backbone, but also the people that are watching. When I hear, what keeps me going is when someone says, "Hey, no, yeah, you've shown me something I didn't know before." You know, I've had people give me a long email, send me a long email about how much I've changed their life. That's the stuff that keeps me going. You know, we're truth together. You know, and that's vain. I shouldn't say it that way because I don't necessarily have a ministry. I'm a more polemicist than exposing mass media and its conditioning. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, all that means the world to me. But yeah, anyways, right now it's changing. I need help. I'll get to that. You know, I'll begin posting videos and community posts and all that. I'll be doing fundraisers, but you know, just for the winter. I think summer I'll be able to get some kind of local help, like McDonald's, as they say. Local job, I mean, career change, because this online teaching thing apparently is run its course. All right. So let's continue seeing what he says about the consequences. That was his remedy. Consequences. All right, let's see.
So what happens then is that once the AI dings that for a copyright violation or for a a violation and demonetizes it or restricts it. And I should say that it doesn't completely demonetize it if people have YouTube Premium, which at least for me is about 15% of the total income that I get. That income still happens, but it's a tiny percent. It's like 15% for me. It may be different for others. So you can appeal it. And when you appeal it, it usually takes up to 24 hours. It could take up to a week before a human then goes in and reviews it. And in every single case, when I have appealed it and had a human look at it, the human has confirmed it. Now, here's the thing. If you read YouTube's their own guidelines on what is okay to be monetized and what's not, none of these examples that I've shared with you violate YouTube's guidelines.
If I'm understanding this correctly, what he's saying is, and this is what has happened to me when I appeal it, they just like, too bad, so sad. Well, yeah, that's what he's saying. And so, and even they're going against their policy. And sometimes what I'll do, I'll just go ahead and repost the video, and you get surprise, somehow the algorithms don't disagrees with itself. So I kind of wonder if it's really algorithms. There's not something else going on. Anyway, let's go back to this guy.
In an educational context, if you're talking about a historic event, you're not exploiting it, you're not espousing, for example, hate speech or that certain rhetoric, then it's perfectly fine and can be monetized. But it seems like whoever these people are that are reviewing this, and I don't know if it's like some college student somewhere.
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what I meant to bring up, but I forgot. There's just so much to unpackage, as they say. But yeah, I've seen, in fact, there's a video online about one of these guys, absolute libtard, nose ring, Rainbow Coalition, whatever, militant, all these things, admitting that he was doing all kinds of vile things. He was actually repentful about it. And that's why I did the video. I was like, you know what? I was doing this and it was wrong.
Or some person that doesn't even understand the context and doesn't speak the language. I don't know who it is, but they always confirm that what the algorithm said was right. And here's the thing. They don't even tell you what it is until after that appeal. So when it first gets demonetized and it tells you, oh, there's hate speech in your video, it doesn't tell you where the hate speech is. It doesn't tell you it's at 3927 of your video.
Right. So all these other options that they give you, give you options. You can cut it out. You can, do these things. You don't know what to cut out. You don't know what to do. So the only option is to appeal and, beg them to do what they're supposed to be doing to begin with. It's extreme, again, common Nazi pagan system, and it needs to be addressed that.
Just as somewhere in your 40-minute video, there was something that violated our guidelines. Now, if you appeal, then they'll come back and tell you, here's the specific place. That's how I found out, for example, that it was the 2-second view of the swastika that got my video demonetized. I didn't know that until that point. Well, by the time all that happens, you've already lost most of the revenue you would have made because it's been demonetized for days. Now, because my channel has grown to the point it is, and so I have a little bit more sway.
And by the way, I have a similar thing. I'm here to reach people. And so if I get flagged or whatever, nobody's going to no longer get my notification of, if it does get resolved. If I cut something out or edit or whatever and repost it, you guys will never know. And that thing will never get watched. So when I go live, you get a notification. That's when I get my views on YouBoob. Otherwise, I'm just spinning wheels, and that's what they want.
When it comes to this stuff with YouTube, and I have something called a partner manager, and you have to get to a certain place before you even get that. There is another remedy that they gave me, and hopefully it's available to smaller channels too, to all channels. And that is you can go back in and you can escalate that appeal. And what you have to do then is give a link and give a reasoning for that. And then it goes to like a supervisor at YouTube. And in every case where I've done that, within 10 minutes of me escalating the appeal, I've been confirmed as being right. And they've removed the demonetization. The problem is by the time that happens, you've lost 90% of your revenue because this whole process.
And your viewership, your message is not getting out, in my case.
Plays out over days. If it happened before the video went live and they told you specifically and you could expedite this process, it wouldn't be as big of an issue. But because of the nature of how it works, content creators are losing most of their revenue. And so like I said earlier, what it means then is that you learn pretty quickly what topics just not to touch. Don't touch World War II. Don't touch the Holocaust.
See? So now you got to self-censor, as you said, Andrew. And hey, Dana, what's up? See? There you go. And yeah, this is something that's very common. They legislate algorithms, but I get all kinds of things going on. For example, I'll do a live and while I'm doing the live, I'll have like a dozen people watching. But then right after the live, it's go down to 3 views. I'll have like a number of likes, and the likes go down. I'll have some of my shorts might start going, viral within the first 24 hours, and it's like hundreds of views. And next thing you know, it stops suddenly, and next thing you know, it even one or two detract. How do you go from 200 to 198 views? How do you get less views moving forward in time? How does that happen? What's going on? So this algorithms thing, well, we need to look at the algorithms, but unfortunately, Ron DeSantis, as Florida government, they've established under the guise that they're tackling this censorship with Facebook, gave Facebook's algorithms absolute autonomy, legal protection. In other words, there's no legal right to look at, you can't even look at what the algorithms are. And that was, a couple of years ago, at least. I was like, I can't remember, but it was like at least a couple of years ago. So, but the law is still the law. That needs to be changed. This needs to be addressed. People need to unite. I don't know what they're waiting on. I guess they're waiting on Trump to do it for them. It's not going to happen. Okay. God, please, for the love of God, let's stop sitting on our thumbs and get active, people. And I mean the content creators. But those of you that are, especially mods, please get in their ear and push them to unite for class action, which, as you see, they're forcing us to not do class action, sign our lives away. I mean, enough's enough. And then migrate to Rumble. I mean, do what you can here in the belly of the beast. Yeah. But don't sit there and self-censor and allow them to silence you and even, alter your content, promote their vileness because you want whatever, monetization or numbers. Stop there. But let's get this people. We need to unite. Stat. This is a real problem. Again, the influence of the mass media, of the internet, cannot be overemphasized. It cannot. Just look at the lockdown. It cannot be overemphasized. This is where the war is being fought. This is where the spiritual warfare has its biggest impact, right here in WWW.
Holocaust. Don't touch National Socialism. Don't ever use the other word for that. And don't talk about the Austrian painter with the mustache, because if you use his name, that's a good chance you're going to get demonetized as well. And that's where we're at right now with YouTube, is we are at this place where, whether intentionally or unintentionally, by the nature of their monetization policy and by the what seems to be lack of understanding by the human reviewers as to what context is, we are being censored from talking about certain topics. Now, I tend to try to err on the side of believing
Yeah, I don't understand why you can't mention Hitler. Well, what the hell is that? Or you can't mention killing or murder or massacres or genocide. If you're going to rebuke it, if you're going to speak against it, you've got to say the word. Well, that's it, isn't it? They're kind of protecting these people, aren't they? Especially we see now the left being Hitlers, right? Being Nazis, fascists, chasing after the Jews. And I know some people might be surprised by my saying that, since a lot of my content, again, I'm exposing mass media. Jews are behind Hollywood. They establish it. The ADL will call you anti-Semite if you say otherwise. That's 21st century happening. So, yeah, in the process, I'm going to talk about them. But I'm not calling for their genocide. Okay. The left is, though. Go figure. Does that really surprise anyone, given their spirit, given their anti-Christian spirit? I mean, it surprised me at first, but yeah, now that I think about it, I'm going to say, duh, of course, Nick. Duh. Duh, of course. They're behind the KKK. I mean, they're Masonic militia, the leftists. Their ideologies are identical, not by accident. So, of course, they're going to be Nazis and commies at the same time. That's why I call them commie Nazi pagans.
The best of people, and so I don't want to believe that it's intentional that certain events are being censored, but it sure feels that way sometimes, and it makes it very, very difficult, especially when you're trying to talk about history, when you don't know what's even going to get dinged for demonetization. Never in a million years would I have thought that a 2-second clip of an artillery gun firing would demonetize a video for violence.
Guys talking about history, they won't let him do it. What else needs to be said here?
Never did I think that a clip talking in a video talking about the Axis powers in the context of history, because it showed a 2-second clip of a tiny little flag in the corner of an image that had a swastika on it, that would demonetize a video. That makes no sense to me. So in particular, I would love to hear from other content creators, because I know a lot of you are subscribed.
All right. So I think, let me see. Yeah. Oh, let me show you this real quick. Oh, Kitty Lyson, Miss Piggy, Hanna-Barbera, and all these other Walt Disney's thankfully getting exposed. But this is bad. I mean, look at this symbol here. Let me see if I can make that bigger. This is a TV show. Miss Piggy, by the way, Frank Oz. If you've ever seen, Trading Places, he's actually the sergeant in a police station at the very beginning, processing Dan Aykroyd's character after he's been turned out by his bosses and turned into a degenerate that's going to prison for the first time. Anyways, that's Frank Oz. But yeah, it's a bald guy, who does the voice of women. Anyway, I don't know, man. All right, I'll just stop. I'm going all over the place. There's a lot to cover, so much to say, but it's just disturbing. Let me make sure I've got. I don't want to. I wanted to finish up and do more on Rob's thing, but again, let me go ahead and reshare that link here, and so you guys can have access to it. Watch it in full. I don't think I'll do that. I'm done with that. We also did the Bundy thing about the pedophilia, how it's comical. And speaking of the Muppets, Seth, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. Anyway, he's the guy who does all the voices. And he made a joke in one of the award ceremonies about the pedophilia. I can't remember who he was talking about. Weinstein, I think. It was an inside joke, a Hollywood joke. I mean, the P. Diddy, there's a P. Diddy apologists out there. Me Too, the Me Too movement. Okay, yeah, women, they made it a gender issue. That's why I get irked when the polemicists start sounding libtards and make Islam a gender issue. Stop it. Under the gender issue now, this pedophilia has been apologized for. People are applauding those that got away with it, including Weinstein. He just recently was found innocent. Polanski, is he still on the lam? If he's not guilty, why is he on the lam? Why is he hiding somewhere abroad? Oh man, I'm sorry. I think I need to take a break from this. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. If anyone wants to come on up. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to do. Just talk about basically, again, this Olympic boxer and the attitude toward it. This, got the gold medal, Algerian, and beat up on women. And then media and the Olympic Committee is protecting him. And the spirit in which that's being done, and why it's being empowered, and why the real danger of the left showing solidarity with Islam and all that being normalized, all this Baphomet worship and this anti-Christian behavior and anti-Christians is a palpable, real problem. We are in that epoch, but we got to continue fighting. We got to continue fighting until the very end. Save as many as you can. They want to take as many as they can with them to the pits of hell. That's between them and God, but that's probably where they'll end up. But we also need to try to save as many as we can from that, including them, if they're not beyond reproach. All right. There's Jai and Doc stream in about 30 minutes. I need to take a break. Amen. Yeah, me too, buddy. I'm done. So, okay. All right, guys. I guess that's all I got. Let me see if I can just close this with a decent. I didn't have a good closing. I had something in mind, but it's my generic stuff. That's all I got. Maybe I should close with a prayer. Yeah, let's do the Lord's Prayer. That's a good one. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our co-substantial bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, now and forever, to the ages of ages. Amen. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. God bless. Keep on keeping on. And remember, blessed are those who endure to the end. And find me on Rumble. Let's make that a backup at the very least. Take care. God bless. All right, I got two people who just showed up. What's going on here? All right, hello. Okay, David, I remember. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes if you want to go ahead and come on up. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and hit the outro and call it a day, because it's been a long one and it's been emotional draining, and I'm sure there's other content, probably someone else streaming right now. But yeah. Again, get active. Don't wait on someone else to do it. That's groupthink. Get active and take care of these problems from the bottom up. Yeah, and let me give you this one. Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And it's in the same book, or chapter, I should say. Matthew 24:13. It says, this too shall come to pass. He's basically talking about the end of the world. Christ is describing things and talking about even the faithful being deceived, and those that have children suffering the most. And, you know, don't worry about your possessions when you see these things happening. But and many will die, as we are. But yeah, we got to stop this this perversion of little children. Yeah, this pedophilia. Got to stop it. Got to stop the self-censorship, the fear, allowing Satan to control us through fear, and the servants of Satan using that instrument. And have faith. Just stay focused on Christ. Keep your noose. And continue the kingdom now. All the lot of hangs on that. Your relationship with God and your relationship with each other. If not you, who? If not now, when? All right, guys. I guess no one's coming up. That's fine. Thank you again for being here. Take care, and God bless. I see.